Yep, Bambu Lab has just released another printer onto the market, and it's called the H2d Pro. Now, don't get too excited because this one is not for everyone. Now, we're going to dive into this news as well as cover some other major announcements in hardware and software across the 3D printing and maker community. We're even going to show you some really cool things that you can either 3D print or make. And we're going to get into all of this right after this.
Welcome to the show that sets your mind free. Tech and gadgets, 3D surprise. Captain Creativity. Honesty inside to have your with David's guiding light, inventions spark and take their flight.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Captain Creativity. I am your host, David Merrill, and today is another episode of the 3D Print Report. Now, I know it's been a while. We usually like to do this show every 2 to 4 weeks, but things have been a little bit hectic, and honestly, that was totally on me. Now, I got this huge backlog of really amazing equipment coming your way, so definitely stay tuned and ring that bell. And if you haven't already subscribed, now's a great time to do so. So let's get right into it, and we're gonna go right into the topic of hardware. Let's first start off with the Bambu Lab H2d Pro. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, this is not really a new printer. It's basically the H2d with enterprise features. Now, what does that mean? What are enterprise features? Well, the first one is security. They have an Ethernet port on the back. It is a 100 megabit Ethernet port. I don't know why they didn't go with a gigabit, but they did it. In terms of Wi-Fi, they now support WPA2 Enterprise. And in order to actually use that, you essentially need to have a radius server, which is not something you're gonna commonly find on most residential or even small business routers. There's also a physical network kill switch, so if you need to immediately cut off the connection, you could do it instantly. The precision calibration is where things get interesting. They're using the same 5 micrometer optical calibration technology from the regular H2d, but now with enhanced bed mapping capabilities for even better precision across the entire build surface. Oh, and it comes with bundled Bambu Farm Studio software for managing multiple printers. Here's the reality check. At $3,799, this price tag isn't for everyday makers. Bambu knows their target market, institutions that need rock-solid security and don't want their prototyping secrets leaked. That's what this product is meant for. And that's not to say that hobbyists won't buy it if they want the absolute best and don't want to wait for consumer versions of these features. So really, who is this meant for? Well, it's going to likely be meant for universities, government institutions, and large enterprises, large businesses, and print farms. Now moving on to the world of 3D printer automation is none other than the company that decided to use their password as their name. And I'm referring to Automated. And I only say that because this spelling is not what you expect, and you're not going to find it through a traditional search. So I'm putting in the name right here below. Now, all joking aside, they make a phenomenal project. It's basically called the Auto Eject, and we've actually featured it on this show before when I've gone to Rapid TCT. In fact, they just recently sent me a prototype, which I'm currently working on, and as soon as it's done, I'll share it with you. Well, essentially, this accessory will take your bed plates and pull them off the printer, stack them, take a new one, and put it in. Can you imagine having all those plates ready in the morning for something like the kick kiln, like a chunky or something like that, where you have your blues, you have your whites, you have your blacks, you have all these different colors, and they're all ready to go. Imagine you're a teacher and you have a bunch of 3D prints and you can run them in succession, and basically the next morning you come in and everything is there. Well, that's what they do. Other notable things about the Auto Eject system is that it actually supports a multitude of different 3D printers, from Bambu Lab to Prusa to Elegoo and more. Now, if you're interested in getting this, it costs about $474, and even though their Kickstarter has been fully funded, you could still back the project in the link below. Now, they're not the only ones in this space. In fact, Tom's Hardware just recently covered 3DQ Systems, a $129 auto ejection tool for Bambu Lab print farms that includes an auto door opener and a special bed service for frictionless part ejection. And here's a cool discovery. There's another company called SwapMod. In fact, they've actually been doing this for quite a while. And they have a system for approximately €7, which is about $82, that works really well with the A1 Mini. The only problem is you can't get it shipped to the United States. I'm not sure if it's a legal issue, but they literally don't ship it here. Now, at the end of the day, this is what I consider to be the pinnacle of 3D printing, that and multicolor resin printing. Now, of course, I know the latter has $10,000 machines that do it, but I'm looking for something in the consumer market. Anyway, I would love to hear what you think is the pinnacle of 3D printing. What is on your wish list? Tell me in the comments below. So Bambu Lab owners who had the original AMS and are really feeling the FOMO of not having the AMS2, well, you're in luck. It looks like Sunlu has just launched in the last few weeks their new AMS heater, which will actually convert your first generation AMS into a dryer as well. And the good news is that putting this together is super simple. In fact, it was so simple. So this was definitely one of the easiest modifications that you can do, and I give a lot of props to Sunlu for creating this mechanism. So if you want to breathe a little bit more life into your original first gen AMS, this is a pretty cool thing to get. It really only took me a few minutes. Now, in terms of its functionality, it's really simple and very intuitive. You have a power button, you have the ability to select different profiles for PLA, ABS, TPU, etc. So you'll expect to have all those different capabilities there, as well as timer, etc. And again, it is your original AMS. Everything on the inside has stayed completely the same. The mechanism is the same. Now, at the end of the day, does this turn your AMS first generation into an AMS2? No, because there are differences, obviously. In the inside of the AMS2, there's actually easier accessibility to the PTFE tubes. And that's fantastic when it comes to doing maintenance on the unit, because sometimes things do get stuck. But hopefully with something like this, you won't get such dry filament and it won't get brittle and crack open in the tubes. And so hopefully you don't need to get access to that underbelly. This unit goes for somewhere around $120, but it's currently on sale because it is in its pre-order stage, and you could get it today for just under $110. So the question is, when are you going to be able to get your hands on one of this? Well, if you place the order today, it looks like you'll end up getting them somewhere between November 10th and November 15th, according to their website. All right, moving on to software. So some exciting news from the world of Bambu Studio, and that is their 2.2 public release, and it's now available, and there's some game-changing features in there. The headline feature here is Helio Additive Thermal Simulation Integration. Whew, that's a mouthful. But basically, this specializes in simulating and optimizing G-code to predict temperature-related issues like warping, poor bonding, and even sagging. And you can do this all before the print even begins. The whole idea here is to catch overheating or even undercooling issues instantly, improving strength, accuracy, and reliability, basically cutting down the entire trial and error game. So here's what I love about this. Every time you start a new print, you pretty much have a lot of the advanced settings already set for you. Now, of course, there's auto orientation and there's also auto supports. But when you look at your quality details, your strength details, your cooling details, this doesn't change from model to model. And so something like the Helio Additive Thermal Simulation will basically be able to help leverage AI to do a case-by-case analysis on every model that you throw on there. I think that's really cool, and I think that this is an excellent way for AI to improve the 3D printing world. Another fantastic addition is that you can now remotely skip objects during a print directly from Bambu Studio. This functionality was previously only available on the H2d and the X series, but only through the screens. You can now do it remotely through the software. That's pretty cool. They've also added a fuzzy skin painting tool for more creative control. But here's my favorite feature: external spool holder AMS functionality. Well, they're basically turning your external spool into an AMS. When you put on filament, the system automatically pauses for color changes instead of you having to manually set pause points in the layers. And that's how you do it today, right? You have to go to these individual layers and set them and then do that multiple times. Well, this is all done automatically and it eliminates so many painstaking steps. There are tons of additional features in there. You have scarf seam options, you have updated text tools that include more support for more font libraries, you have a bunch of additional improvements and enhancements. It's a massive update. I'm gonna put a link in the description below for the release notes, so definitely check it out. All right, so moving on. Well, Elegoo is really trying to build out their ecosystem and they're backing it with some serious money. They've committed about $1 million to their creator fund through their Next Print platform. So similar to Bambu Lab, MakerWorld, and Creality, and Anycubic, and many others, they're all putting forth their own maker library of models, and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is and basically reward people for creating models for them. So, you know, kudos to them. It is another online library out there, but I definitely see them wanting to kind of create their own ecosystem. They've also just recently released a mobile app for their resin printers, and from what I understand, that they are expanding this to FDM printers as well. Right now, we don't have that ability through the Elegoo Centauri Carbon and many other printers, so this is going to be a welcome addition to people who've invested in Elegoo. Now, I know Bambu has been dominating the news cycle lately, and they're doing it again. They're not sitting still either, and they've actually just launched a crowdfunding feature on MakerWorld, and basically it's creating Kickstarter for 3D printing projects. This is brilliant for helping designers get compensated for their time and their effort, and sometimes the ROI just isn't there for creators, but they still want to make cool things and share them with the community while getting paid. Well, this helps cover their costs, especially for ambitious ideas that require a ridiculous amount of time and effort. Now, I not only applaud this, I actually back it. In fact, I actually supported a project called The Crazy Factory, which is a mini arcade automation solution built on Cyberbrick. When I saw it, I was like, whoa. And you have all these like packages coming out of different areas and a robot that's meant to organize it. But it's such an intricate system. It looks so cool. And not only is it a fun game, but it looks like a fantastic educational tool to learn about motors and servos and all kinds of cool stuff, and really bringing your 3D prints to life. Now, there's always someone on Reddit complaining about monetization of art, saying it's wrong for designers to get paid for their time and their effort, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's literally Kickstarter for 3D printing. Most of us don't work for free. So this is just a great way to do what you love while being able to focus on it and bring amazing content to the community. And Luke in the Garage is at it again, and this time he has created a fully functional lunchbox. I think this thing is so cool. I certainly had this type of lunchbox when I was younger, but I didn't get the opportunity to print it or let alone design it. So he's already started designing some versions of this. He has an Andor version, he has a Joker version, and I'm sure he's working on tons more. But the cool thing about it is that he's made it so that you can personalize it and customize it on your own. When you download these STL files, you'll likely be able to import them into Tinkercad, and just imagine you or your kids being able to go in there, putting on their names, putting on other types of objects, and truly customizing their own lunchbox. I think this is so cool, and it's going to be such a fun project to whoever downloads it. Anyway, by the time you're watching this, the links probably are available, so go to his profile page, and I'm going to put a link in the description below and check it out. So this one was actually brought to my attention, and when I checked it out, I was totally blown away by it. It is the Obi-Wan lightsaber with illuminated crystal chamber. Now, it was designed by Axel Dreher, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and you could find it on MakerWorld. The thing that actually stood out to me on this model was the fact that Axel gave step-by-step instructions when it comes not only to the assembly, but also to the electronics. The electronics look really simple to do, and the instructions to put it all together, equally simple. So big kudos out to you, Axel, for putting together those instructions, and I think this is a fantastic project for everyone. Well, I'm sure many of you are super excited about the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. We got sneak peeks as it started filming, and we now know what Spider-Man's suit is gonna look like. Now, obviously, as soon as this came out, 2 creators jumped on it immediately to make sure that we can make the Brand New Day helmet, and that's Do 3D as well as Yosh Studios. Both of them created magnetic versions of the helmet where the back part and the front part assembled by magnets as well as the eyes. And they both created fantastic models. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference whether one is better than the other. I can't say. They both look fantastic, and I'm gonna put a link to both of them in the description below. And if I get around to doing both versions, I'll keep you updated. And last but certainly not least is the Galactic Amory, and they really hit it out of the park with this one. They made the Spaceballs helmet. And so I was so excited, I ran straight to my printer and isn't that amazing? This is just so cool. I know you guys know what needs to come next. Dark helmet. Anyway, this took just about 16 hours and about 3/4 of a roll of filament, so it was really not bad at all. I did remove the interior supports because they just weren't necessary, but it came out great. Now, of course, I could sand it and paint it and really make it shine, but it already looks so cool. Anyway, check them out. I'm gonna include a link in the description below. Anyway, that's all I got for today, and thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna put all the links to all the articles in the description below. Please take a look at them if you want any more details on anything that I covered today. The people who put these articles together really deserve much of the credit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And may the Schwartz be with you.